Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 5th chapter. Narada's instructions on Srimad Bhagavatam, text 4. Jijñāsitam, adhītaṁ ca, Brahma, yat, tat, sanātanam, tathāpi, śocasy, ātmānam, akṛta-arthaḥ, prabho. Jijñāsitam adhītaṁ ca, Brahma yat sanātanam, tathāpi śocasy ātmānam, akṛtārtha prabho. Jijñāsitam adhītaṁ ca, Brahma yat sanātanam, tathāpi śocasy ātmānam, akṛtārtha prabho. Jijñāsitam adhītaṁ ca, Brahma yat sanātanam, tathāpi śocasy ātmānam, akṛtārtha prabho. Jijñāsitam, deliberated fully well. Adhītaṁ, the knowledge obtained. Cha, and Brahma, the absolute. Yat, what? Tat, that. Sanātanam, eternal. Tathāpi, in spite of that. Śocasy, lamenting. ātmānam, unto the self. akṛta-arthaḥ, undone. Eva, like. Prabho, my dear sir. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. He has fully delineated the subject of impersonal Brahman as well as the knowledge derived from therefrom. Why should you be despondent in spite of all this, thinking that you are undone, my dear Prabhu? Please repeat after me. You have fully delineated the subject of impersonal Brahman, as well as the knowledge derived therefrom. Why should you be despondent? In spite of all this, thinking you are undone, my dear Prabhu. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Vedānta-sūtra, Brahma-sūtra compiled by Śrī Vyāsadeva is the full delineation, full deliberation of the impersonal absolute feature, and it is accepted as the most exalted philosophical exposition in the world. It covers the subject of eternity, and the methods are scholarly. So there cannot be any doubt about the transcendental scholarship of Vyāsadeva. So why should he lament? Jijñāsitam adhītaṁ ca, Brahma yat sanātanam, tathāpi śocasy ātmānam, akṛtārtha prabho. He has fully delineated the subject of impersonal Brahman as well as the knowledge derived therefrom. Why should you be despondent in spite of all this, thinking that you are undone, my dear Prabhu? So, Vyāsadeva, seeing that the Kali Yuga is about to begin, Vyāsadeva decided to simplify the transcendental knowledge. This transcendental knowledge is the Vedas. So, any knowledge, unless and until you fully understand it, the real understanding is not realized. So, the Vedas, in order to properly understand the Vedas, one has to understand the entirety of the Vedas. Like it has been pointed out, Bhuvini, Bhuvi Karmani, Shotatam, Bhuvini, the Vedas are vast. And in the Vedas, Bhuvi Karmani, many different activities have been described. And unless and until one has the complete understanding of the Vedas, the purpose of the Vedas will not be understood. What is the purpose of the Vedas? The purpose of the Vedas is to understand Krishna. But if we get caught up with all these various activities that have been prescribed in the Vedas, then we won't be able to reach that ultimate. Therefore, there was a need for simplifying the Vedas. Vyāsadeva could see that. Mainly, Vyāsadeva could see how unintelligent the living entities will become in the world. How weak will be their memory, and how lazy they will be. And besides that, they will be constantly struggling to make their both ends meet. That is the condition of the living entities in the age of Kali. So where is the possibility of getting absorbed in studying the Vedas and fully understanding? Therefore, Vyāsadeva decided to simplify the Vedas. So, first he divided the Vedas. Four different parts of the Vedas were divided. Rig Veda, Shyam Veda, Yajur Veda, and akṛta-arthaḥ. And then he wrote the supplementary aspects of the Veda. Different aspects of the Vedas in different Upanishads and Puranas. And then he wrote Mahabharata to give the Vedic knowledge in a simple, very simple way. Vedic knowledge was presented in the form of stories, history. And then finally he wrote the Vedānta-sūtra, the real philosophical aspect of it. But that Vedānta-sūtra, philosophical aspect of the Vedas, is dealing mainly with impersonal Brahman. So in spite of doing all that, Vyāsadeva was feeling that the work hasn't been completed. He was feeling that something is missing. Akṛta-arthaḥ. Akṛta-arthaḥ means unsuccessful. Prabhu used the expression undone. as if the job hasn't been properly completed. So this is how we can see the history. And it's coming to the ultimate conclusion. Vedānta-sūtra is the aphorism, sutra, philosophical treatise. But Narada Muni, we'll see, it didn't come to that point. But Narada Muni is asking, you have done so much. Let's go back to the last few verses. Your inquiries were full and your studies were also well fulfilled. And there is no doubt that you have prepared a great and wonderful work, the Mahabharata, which is full of all kinds of Vedic sequences elaborately explained. You have fully delineated the subject of impersonal Brahman as well as the knowledge derived therefrom. Why should you be despondent in spite of all this, thinking that you are undone, my dear prabhu? So you have done so much, like ultimately coming to the explanation or proper establishment of Brahman. Brahman means transcendental reality. Crossing the material nature, you have gone all the way up to the transcendental nature. So why are you not feeling satisfied? And that has now will be revealed gradually. How Vyāsadeva is actually addressing, after replying to Narada. So, in this way, we can see that it is coming to the point of recognizing the real purpose and value of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam actually is the answer to everything. Brahma-sūtra or Vedānta-sūtra, akṛta-arthaḥ Brahma-sūtra. The meaning or purport of Vedānta-sūtra is Srimad Bhagavatam. akṛta-arthaḥ vinirnaya. It's establishing the purpose of Maharaj. So, Srimad Bhagavatam is the ultimate. And why it is the ultimate? Because Srimad Bhagavatam is clearly describing the activity of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam is gradually explaining Srishti, creation. Atra, sarga, visargasya. Bhagavatam has 10 aspects. Those 10 aspects of Bhagavatam and this Mahapuran is, first is creation. Srimad Bhagavatam gives the perfect understanding. Visarga, secondary creation. First, initial creation is from Vishnu, Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu is lying in the causal ocean, and as he is breathing, due to his breathing, the bubbles are generated, and each bubble is an universe. And then he enters into each bubble, inside each bubble, as Godhead of Śrī Vishnu. And then from his navel comes out a lotus. And Brahma, the first person in this universe, appeared there. And then from Brahma starts the secondary creation. These are the different living entities started to manifest. So that is how the secondary creation is described. How from Brahma's mind first came forth Kumaras. In the material nature, to function, one needs a material body. So Brahma could award the body to a deserving soul just from his mind. Therefore they are called Manasaputras. They are Brahma's mental children. They came from Brahma's mind. And then Brahma created 10 more sons from his mind. And they are Pulasta, Pulaha, Kratu, Angira, Marichi, Atri. And the youngest one is Narada. So these are the Brahma's 10 other Maharaj. Then different living entities came from Brahma's different parts of the body. From Brahma's right hand side came Manu. From Brahma's left hand side came Sataru. The first man and first woman. Manu and Sataru. And from them came the Manavas. Manu's offsprings, Manava, human beings. And this is how the process of procreation from the union between man and woman started. Prior to that, they were all from Brahma's mind or Brahma's different parts of the body. And then came, this is how creation began. Now it has been going on, it is going on from this arrangement, the male-female arrangement. Like practically all the creation that we see is due to this male-female consideration. We can see even in trees and plants, there is a male-female consideration. The pollen is carried to the flower by the bees and they become fertile. They germinate first into a flower, then into a fruit. From the flower comes the fruit. Even among insects there is a male-female consideration. So this is how the procreation began. So Visarga. Actually, when we go into the Vedas, we see how scientific it is. Scientific means real. The understanding is proper, appropriate. What is going on in the name of science today is not at all science, it's all speculation. Science means dealing with the real thing. This is the science. We can also see the link. From Manu came Manu's offspring. In Sanskrit, Manu's offspring are Manavas. Danu's offspring are Danavas. Diti's offspring are Daityas. Aditi's offspring are Adityas. So this is how every creature, every different species got their names. Identification. Names means identification. And the identification is not done just by some whimsical speculation. Babu, Tabu, Tom, Dick, Harry. These names don't signify any meaning. But the original meaning of the names were signifying their origin. Or in our movement you see Rishabhananda Das. Rishabha Ananda, the giver of great joy. Who is the giver of great joy? Krishna. Krishna Das. Right? Krishna Kishore Das. Radha Radhya Das. Archana Dasi. Kirti Kumari Dasi. All the names have meaning. So this is how we can see that everything in the Vedic culture is meaningful. Nothing is meaningless. Every name, everything has its meaning. Like rain, barish. Bari means water, and that supplies water. Barish. And so this is how everything has, and every word has its meaning. So that shows how real, how scientific the Vedic wisdom is. There is no room for speculation. Then creation, sub-creation, then comes maintenance. How everything is being maintained. Is it all accidental? No. Goes really into the root. So this is how Vedic wisdom is so scientific. Unfortunately, today's world is not giving it proper recognition. If they give, the problem is that whole structure of knowledge in today's world is based in such fantastic speculation that if they accept the Vedic knowledge, then their whole structure will collapse. That is the problem. That's why they don't want to accept that. Their whole structure is based on accident. Now how can, bring order in accident? Like we see the life, the definition of life is, all of a sudden, some chemicals or some matter combined and life came. Right at the beginning, it's an accident. But the common sense says, from accident you never get order. from accident comes only chaos. But this world that is maintaining such beautiful order, how can it come from an accident? They're just saying that this is how it happened. And then it happened, organic evolution. And the final evolution is human beings. How did they came? How did they come? From monkey. So our common sense question is, well, you are saying that this has happened, but did anyone ever see a monkey giving birth to a man, or a monkey becoming a man? There are so many literatures, like we can have, even the Western culture can go back to at least 1,000 years of literature, 2,000 years of literature, if you consider. So, in this 2,000 years, is there any simple instance where a monkey became a man? Jokingly we say, man can become monkeys, but monkeys can never become man. So, whereas when you see the Vedic consideration, everything is so meaningful. Is anything happening by chance? No. Everything is happening by divine arrangement. And at the top of everything is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is not the only one who is controlling. He has his subordinates. Does the CEO or chairman of the company run everything himself? No. He has his arrangement. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has his arrangement. And if we see, the higher you go, the more relaxed he is, less active he is. The chairman sits in the big office, makes a few phone calls, at the most. And the rest of the time, he either plays with his grandchildren or his secretary. So similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not directly involved. He has his arrangement. The universe, the responsibility of the entire universe is with Brahma. Okay, Brahma, that's your department, manage it. And then Brahma has his assistants, the demigods. Brahma assigned, okay, you take care of water, you take care of air, you take care of fire, you take care of wind, you take care of rain, you take care of finance, you take care of education. So Brahma assigned different personalities. They're his assistants. And this is how everything is happening. And when the demigods mess up things, then they cry, oh Krishna, please help me, help me. And Krishna says, okay, I'm coming. Sambhavami Jagiri, I'll come. Whenever you mess up things, I will come. So isn't it scientific? So where's the real science? The real science is in the Vedic wisdom. That's why Prabhupada said his books will become the law book for this world for 10,000 years. Why? Because these books are containing the real knowledge. The Vedas are the real wisdom, and Prabhupada has presented this wisdom in the perfect way. No speculation. Prabhupada is not making anything new. Every single verse. He has taken the scripture, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, nectar of devotion, Chaitanya Charita. So he is presenting the authentic knowledge in a bona fide way, in a prescribed way. He is not speculating anything. He is just giving every single verse in the original language, Sanskrit, so that no one can question. And then word for word meaning. Then the translation, the meaning of that verse. And then he is explaining the purport. So how systematic this presentation is. In today's world, we never see such systematic presentation. This is the way the Vedic knowledge is given. All the Vedic knowledge is presented in this way. Not verse by verse, but Prabhupada did it because people in this world is so, the head is so fertile. Okay? So fertile with all kinds of garbage. So that's why Prabhupada had to give this knowledge in such a systematic way. What the other acharyas did, they also gave, not word for meaning and as such, but they gave it with the proper understanding, well, everybody knows what the meaning is. But then they gave the purport, commentary. The commentary. Sometimes the commentary went as a presentation, not word for word or not verse by verse, just a basic presentation. A philosophy, basic, systematic presentation of the philosophy. Especially in this age, we find different acharyas came and gave their philosophy. Shankaracharya came and gave his Kevaladvaita. Then Ramanujacharya came and gave his Vishishtadvaita. Madhvacharya, Dvaitava. So in this way, they gave their presentation, philosophical understanding of the topic. So that is the proper way to receive knowledge. And this knowledge is not just coming from someone's speculation. Everything is so systematic, so scientific. Who can ever question that there is another world beyond this world? The problem with modern science is they think that this is the only world. Not only this is the only world, this is the only place, only planet where there is living entities. And the rest of the space is empty. Now we have to go there and set up our colony. The other day we were discussing that, you see, when the moon landing took place, the late 60s, it was such a big thing. And they were actually considering that they'll set up. Now man will go to moon and live there. They're selling land. People are thinking of buying land in moon. Why that stopped? Such a big effort. They will set up their colony in moon, and they will live in moon. They will go there. So, anyway, we can see that all their claims are so vain. No, moon is not good enough. Let's go to Mars. And it's going on. Why go there? If you're not going to be able to stay there, then why go there? And all this place is empty. Who will ever believe that? Is there any space in this earth? Empty. Is there any space in water? Empty. Is there any space in the air? Empty. When I move my hand, what happens? How many living entities do I touch? Innumerable microbes I'm touching. So why should, if there is if some place is created, is it meant to be remain empty or it has certain purpose? So all these planets are filled with living entities. If somebody comes and says that he went there, couldn't see anybody, then we begin to question, did you really go there? And even if you went there, you don't have the faculty to see them. Your eyes cannot see them. Your eyes won't be able to see them. So, so many contradictions, like moon planet is the planet of nectar. But when they say that it's full of rocks, so anyway, the thing is that our point is, no matter whatever they say, we know what it is. We know what it is. When a madman blabbers, does anybody pay any heed what a madman says? So our attitude is like that. A bunch of mad people. They're just talking all kinds of nonsense. But one thing, of course, we have to give credit, that there has been a lot of technological development. Technological development means the material energy they have very expertly manipulated. That we have to give them credit for. That is, we can also consider why, because this is the age of machines, Iron Age. Iron Age, that means it's the age of machines. And mechanically there have been, technologically there have been a lot of advancement. That credit we have to give them. But that thing is based on an unreal foundation. Like, in simple words, it can be said that the children are playing with many toys. They are completely absorbed in toys, and these toys are fantastic. Some toys fly, some toys swim, some toys does all kinds of amazing things. But it's just a child's play. There is some benefit, but in the ultimate issue, they don't really carry the value. So, I was just thinking when I was talking, like what would be Aparajita's take on what I was saying. You're right. I must admit that medical science has made a lot of advancement. But that advancement is actually technological advancement.
I mean, we don't have all the answers, but I think we are trying to just figure out, science is trying to figure out what Krishna has already provided. They have limited senses, so they can't always get the right answer. At some point they know.
Yeah,
but
good.
Artificial intelligence and all that stuff is like trying to use the technology.
Yeah, very, very good. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. Like, at least I would say that the scientific development originally started from that, questioning why it happens like that. But those days, they accepted God and they wanted to find out why certain things happen in a certain way. For example, Newton, why does the apple always fall? And as a result of that, he found the theory of gravity. Not theory, law of gravity. The other day I was pointing out there's a difference between theory and law in science. Right? Like previously, these findings were all laws, like the law of motion, law of gravity. Then there are different laws, Boyle's law, Charles' law. Right? So these are laws. But now do we come across laws? All theories. Yeah, exactly. Not just application, it is not experimentally verifiable fact. They cannot experimentally prove that. But science means you have to prove it experimentally. Right? Like experimentally verified facts are science. But there is no, like Darwin's theory of organic evolution, Big Bang theory. All these are theories. And so, anyway, as I was saying, like technologically there has been a lot of, like say for example, 30 years back, or maybe a little longer, say about 35 years back, we could not really think that we could communicate with all over the world the way we are doing today. What to speak of all over the world? Those days, even to communicate, to get a telephone line in Calcutta was a big issue. Calling was to have trunk calls. Trunk calls, you don't know how many days it would take. There was a thing called lightning call. That you could immediately get, but it used to cost a lot of money. Those days, 3 minutes of lightning call used to cost about $10. And so technologically there has been a lot of advancement, no doubt. But that is actually Kali's arrangement.
To make life more comfortable, getting more comfortable.
To make the life more not comfortable, allurement is to make it comfortable, but the arrangement is to make the life very complex. They are becoming enslaved by this system.
From a medical point of view, I can give an example. Like earlier, when the brain surgery was done, they would just go by the anatomical landmarks, and it would be an approximate. Now with technology, you can actually just very directly see where, so you can make an incision much smaller and much more. Have you really understood why the tumor is there in the first place, or why this is happening? Not really, but it's just using whatever information we have and with the technology.
Yeah. Right. Technologically there has been enormous development, but scientifically very little. If you look at the record, practically in last 200 years, practically, or at least let us take it 100 years, there hasn't been any scientific discovery. It's all technological development. Whereas look at the medical science, Ayurveda. You know that, Ayurveda, like the basic principles of Ayurveda. This body is made of how many elements? 5. There are 5 elements. Out of that, 3 are predominant. in the human body. So those three elements are water, fire and air. Like we can see that the body, about 75% of the body is water. The body has fire, otherwise how the temperature is there. And the body has air. We are breathing. Actually, the Ayurvedic understanding is different types of air actually conducting the functioning of different aspects of the body. We are breathing. It's a function of one air. The nervous system is functioning, we are digesting. All these are different aspects of the activities of different airs. So, and now, when these elements are in perfect harmony in the body is healthy. When one of them goes off, or more than one goes off, the body becomes sick. Right? Now the science is that by feeling the pulse, one can figure out which aspect is going wrong. And then they will deal with that. If the problem is with water, problem with fire, problem with air. That's one aspect. And the other aspect, nature has provided the cure for all disease. Nature. Disease is there, cure is there. In nature. And one masters the art of finding out what are those antidotes, what are those cures. And they apply and it works. And anyway, so that's the simple way. And the body, the diseases are caused by toxin. So detoxify the body. That's another aspect of the treatment. Get rid of the toxins. And that we see, like our natural system has detoxifying. The main system is evacuation, urination and perspiration. Through that, the body is constantly, regularly getting rid of the toxins. But still the body accumulates the toxin. So there are other processes by which, like most of the time what the medicines do, take the toxins out of the body, bring it to the stomach and flush it out, purgation. And there are ways of, when there's an intense cases, okay, take the toxin out through vomiting. Take the toxin out through purgation. Takes the toxin out by enema. So in this way there are various ways of detoxifying the body. So when the body doesn't have toxin, the body is healthy. And what causes toxin? Wrong food habit, anxiety. Anxiety causes toxin in the body. Depression. So we can see these bodies are, like another thing we notice nowadays, especially in America when we come. You see, I was in Europe about 50 years back. And actually, I didn't see so many fat people. But now practically everyone is so fat. Right? When you go there, everyone has a pot belly. Like practically. So, that shows how unhealthy their life has become. You come across very few men and women, who have slender body. Especially after a certain age, they become so obese. So obesity is such a problem in today's world, which was not there one generation back.
Because everybody wants to be fixed when they come, they feel like most of the time when you're trying to tell them with back pain, modify their lifestyle, they don't want to do it. They want to be fixed most times.
Yeah,
They
quick
want a
fix.
Yeah.
Quick fix.
I mean, surgery provides a quick fix, but I tell them that it may not be long lasting for some cases. They have to modify their lifestyle.
But look at our devotee. All are so slim and fit. Although they get up so early in the morning. But they're happy, right? Do you have something to say?
I had a question.
Sunil Madhav? Yeah.
In Bhagavad Gita, Lord says that Sarva Sachaham Vidisannivishto Matta Smriti Jnana Apohancha Vedesya Sarva Ahamaya Vedya. So when Vyasji has written that Bhagavad Gita, so Vyasji says that all the information on the Veda is to understand Krishna, the Supreme Person. So then why he is mentioning all this impersonal thing? And why he become happy?
It's not impersonal thing, it appears to be impersonal. Appears. Like he is not giving full information about the spiritual reality, but he is speaking about the spiritual reality as Brahman. And so that's what in Brahma-sūtra that is being established, right? But Param Brahman aspect has been so clearly established. The Brahman aspect has been established, but Parabrahma aspect hasn't been properly established. And it is not that Vyāsadeva didn't know,
Yeah, he knows.
but the presentation was incomplete. And another way to look at it is, like through this, the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam is established. The real purpose of the Vedas is Srimad Bhagavatam. And it is saying the Arthaḥ Brahma-sūtra. So, Bhāshyayam Brahma-sūtra. It is the commentary, natural commentary of Srimad Bhagavatam, of Brahma-sūtra. So Brahma-sūtra, when it's explained, Srimad Bhagavatam. So now that's what Narad Muni is inspiring him to do. Any other question? Yes.
Guru, you have explained that Srimad Bhagavatam is the ultimate purpose, Srimad Bhagavatam of all Vedas. So can we conclude that Srimad Bhagavatam is our main scripture?
Yeah. First Bhagavad Gita, then Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, that's why Prabhupada put so much importance in these two books. But first Bhagavad Gita. And by understanding Bhagavad Gita, that understanding becomes perfect through Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Haribo, yes, Kirti Kumari.
What is the scientific difference between Ayurveda and modern medical science?
It is actually developed from Ayurveda, but it lost its connection to Ayurveda. It came from Ayurveda originally. Everything is coming from Ayurveda. I mean, everything is coming from Vedas. But what happened in today's world, it lost its connection.
And I have another question. The Danavas and Yadavas you were mentioning, are they like conditioned souls or they're like...
Danavas means demons.
But I mean they came from Brahma's mind, you were explaining.
Danava Brahma's children, actually Kashyapa's daughter is Danu. No, I'm sorry, Daksha's daughter is Danu.
So the they are not like,
So Danu's offspring are Danu.
they are not conditioned souls. They are like just here for a purpose.
No, not daughter. Danu is his son actually. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was wondering if like they appeared from Brahma's mind to populate this world. So they are here for a purpose, but they're actually like liberated souls, or they're
No,
conditioned
different
souls?
type. You see, different living entities have different mentality, right? Different subtle bodies, and accordingly they get their gross body,
Okay, so they are also-
right?
yes.
So those who are in that kind of mentality, say demons, those who have the demoniac mentality, they get a specific type of body. Those who are divine mentality, they get the body of a demigod. Like that. Thank you, Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.